This is son.
That's fine.
I mean, I can break through walls. I just can't.
That's fine.
Gotta get this.
The year was 2004. Toy Story had changed animation forever. Monsters, Inc. was a huge success. Finding Nemo had just become one of the biggest animated films ever made. But then Brad Bird came along. Instead of making a movie about toys or monsters or fish, he made a movie about superheroes. And while The Incredibles is about superheroes, it's mainly about growing up and about family.
Settle down, are you kidding? I'm at the top of my game. I'm right up there with the big dogs. Girls, come on. Leave the saving of the world to the men? I don't think so.
At first glance, The Incredibles looks like a typical superhero movie. There's a villain, there's action, there's secret identities, there's even a giant robot trying to destroy a city. But the reason people still talk about The Incredibles more than 20 years later has very little to do with any of that. What makes this movie special is that every member of the Parr family feels relatable. Bob Parr isn't struggling to save the world, he's struggling with a desk job. He's struggling with getting older, he's struggling with the feeling that his best years are behind him. And honestly, that's a feeling most people understand. At some point, almost everybody looks back at a version of themselves that they miss. Maybe it was when they were younger, or maybe it was when they had bigger dreams. Maybe it was when life was easy, and they had little responsibilities or routines. For Bob, that version of himself is Mr. Incredible. For everybody else, it's something different. That's why his story works. It's not about superpowers, it's about his purpose. Helen's story is different, but it's just as powerful. While Bob spends most of the movie trying to reclaim his past, she tries to hold the family together in the present. She knows that life has changed. She knows that things can't go back to the way that they were. But yet, she refuses to let that stop her from protecting the people that she loves. Even the kids represent different parts of growing up. Dash wants to show the world what he can do, and Violet just wants to disappear. The powers aren't separate from the characters. They are the characters. That's why their dynamic works. Everybody's dealing with the same problem. They're all trying to figure out who they're supposed to be. The superpowers that each of them have are just visual representations of their struggles. Dash literally can't slow down. Violet literally hides herself from the world. Helen stretches herself in every direction trying to keep the family together, and Bob is constantly trying to become larger than life. And I think that's why so many people like this movie, because they can relate to it. It's about a family trying to understand each other, a father trying to feel important again, a mother trying to keep everybody together, and children who are trying to figure out where they belong. Somehow, Brad Bird manages to tell all of that while also delivering one of the best action movies Pixar has ever made. That's why I love this movie so much, because it connects with everybody that could be watching this movie. The movie trusts the kids to handle those ideas while giving adults something completely different to connect with. In fact, I think that's why so many people love The Incredibles more as adults than they did as kids. As kids, they wanted to be Dash or Violet. As adults, we start to understand the feeling that Helen and Bob are going through. We start to understand what it's like to miss the previous versions of ourselves. To wonder if our biggest moments are behind us. To chase something we can't quite explain. But then the movie gives us its answer. The past isn't something that you can go back to. It's something that you learn from. Bob doesn't become old Mr. Incredible again. The family doesn't return to the way things were. Instead, they move forward. But they do that together. That's the real victory at the end of the movie. Not defeating Syndrome or saving the city. The Parr family finally becomes a team. They stop hiding who they are from each other. They stop trying to do everything alone. And for the first time in the film, everybody is exactly who they're supposed to be. That's why I think The Incredibles has lasted more than 2 decades. Not because it's a great superhero movie, although it is. Not because it's a great family movie, although it is. It's because it understands something that never goes out of style. No matter how strong we are, no matter how talented we are or how successful we become, the people we share our lives with matter more. And in a movie filled with superheroes, giant robots, and world-saving heroes, that's the most powerful message of all.
Honey!
What?
Where's my super suit?
What?
Where is my super suit?